I want you to notice that on the bottom, this is really key. On the bottom in the clef is 2 ledger lines down, that's C. Get that really, really, really in your head, okay? Now, 1 ledger line up is you're skipping a note on the piano, essentially, is an E. So let's think about that. C, E. If you have C, E, you're going to have a G somewhere around because, okay, so now you've got a chord there. So if that was moved over, the E and the G were stacked on top of it, you'd have a C major chord. And then by skipping every other one, you're going to E, G, B, E minor. And you can look at that. That's pretty easy to figure out eventually. But I want you to look at something really cool. You know the good boys do fine always. From now on, you won't ever forget that, believe me. G, B, D, F, A. Okay? G, B, D, F, A. That's your lines. G, B, D, F, A. 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 You should be able to look at those. If somebody that reads music, if you want to get where I think you want to get, you must know these. There is no, it's like you must know that if you want to know that 3 squared is 9, and don't get into negatives. I'm not worried about that. I'm just talking about 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. So you've got to know it. You know, and anything else. There's some things that you just can't change, and that's one of them. Okay. So you've got to know your notes instantly. I mean, instantly. People think that these people sit and figure things out. They do not. They do not. And that is the problem with us casual readers. And I'll be honest with you, I'm still there. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting out of there. But that DFA, okay, now if you'd asked me a while back what this was, I'll be honest with you, I could pick up maybe C and G and ACG and GBDFA, but I would have to struggle with it. Okay? I don't struggle anymore. I get hundreds on my test that I do on the apps on the store. Okay? And I can say them faster than I can move my hand. Okay? So these things are fantastic. And when you start noticing pattern, that's even better. And also I've noticed that when you do this and you're practicing, just take a leap and say, okay, I think that's G. Just put it down. You're going to miss it or you're going to get it. Okay? You're just practicing. Okay? And I want you to come out of this that this is C, 2 lines down, and it will be, I'll put this on there. It's that note right there. It's called C2. Okay? And your E. Get that down. So guess what's in between? It's a gift, and it's called D, and it's the same on top and bottom, and we'll go over that spaces in a few minutes, hopefully, or the next lesson. D. That's a D right in the middle. In other words, the first or the second space down is a D. We're not getting into that right now. C, E, and right in between it is a D. Same on the top. Okay? You'll see that. Okay. C, E, G. So look at that. Okay, I've got a chord there. And when you get, and you see, and you notice also that when you go 3 lines, especially, you can really see it with no sharps or flats. C, E, G, you're going to look at that 3 lines means you have a 5th. And of course, backing up a 3rd and so forth. But if you do that, I'm going to show you something pretty cool here. Look at C and G. the 1 and the 3 notes. Okay? Now, if this theory holds, that's a 1 and 5. Okay? Now look at E, G, B, and look at E, B. And is not, you're skipping lines only right now, E, G, B is not E the 1 and B the 5. Okay? Now, if this works, I should have a D on the 3rd line up, G, B, D. And guess what? It sure is there, G, B, D. So you can think G, D. So now you know D. I want you to also notice that D is right in the middle of the bass clef. Don't get that confused with B. That's in the treble clef. Okay? So D is in the middle. D is in the middle. If D is in the middle, think of the piano. If that D is in the middle, then that means right below it is a C, and D in the middle, E. So you already have C, D, E. You have we call it a bookmark. It's got other names for it, but C, D, E, landmark you want to call it, C, D, E. Look at that. Bear that down in your head. E, D, C, C, D, E, C, D, E, E, D, C. Okay? Now you can do that on all of them, but right in the middle is a good one. So now we're gonna play this, and I'll play along. And look at the top. Okay, just going to repeat it again. I'm going to start at middle C. Well, I would if my piano was on. It's going to rest, and it's going to go on to the D now. Going to do it again. Rest and go back. The idea of this is not trying to be rushing this. You want to look at that, try to observe patterns. Notice that's E, G, B, D, which is E minor 7.